Hey guys, how's it going? I think the last video you guys seen, I was playing with my 372. That chain could use a touch up, but I'm not too worried about it right now. I don't run that one much. It's always been a good running saw. It sits mostly. Let's set this down here. I see more of you guys are getting in on the giveaway on this thing. I looked again on eBay today, and I had a little, I had about 120 bucks saved up off to the side where I was going to get that 372 clone, and then I decided to get this instead, and I got that little $120 nest egg built back up, and I spent $104 on it out of it today. I ordered another one of these John Cutters. They weren't on sale. This one I got, I think it was like 90 bucks, 94 bucks, something like that, with a coupon. I guess the coupons weren't good no more, but the vendor I got this from had another one on there on eBay for $99. After tax it was 104 and some change. I can't remember the exact amount of change, but I was gonna say 105 bucks. I thought, well, I had so much fun goofing off with this one, so I ordered another one because I want to see if I can get even more out of it. I looked all over my shop for the V-Modest cylinder, and I don't know what I did with it. I might have gave it to the guy that got the V-Modest. I honestly don't know what I did with it. And I looked all over for my Alibaba 372 cylinder, and I might have junked it too. I can't find it, but I was gonna do a scratch test video. But if you guys go through my videos, there's somewhere on there where I was taking a Chinese screwdriver and the plating that was on that Alibaba hunk of junk saw. It was like a $150 hunk of junk, Chinese mail order 372. I ended up giving that one away on the channel too after I fixed it. Ported it and fixed it. What all did I have to fix on that? I threw a Farmer Tech top end on it. I threw a Farmer Tech oil pump on the oil pump. That thing didn't make it. It didn't make it a tank of gas before it started eating the cylinder. And then I poured it up a Farmer Tech $30 top end, threw on it, and then it didn't make it another tank of gas, and the oil pump had quit pumping. So I threw a Farmer Tech oil pump on that one, and then there was something else. I think I had to throw a carburetor or something. I can't remember. But anyway, I got it running good. Oh, and then I had to swap out the bolts. After I did get it running good, the heads of the bolts popped off on the cylinder, and luckily I was able to take the cylinder off, set it off to the side, and there was enough sticking out where I could grab onto them and spin the bolts out by hand. So I got some hardware bolts put in it instead. But got it where I thought it was reliable enough, and I gave that one away on the channel. I don't even recall if we even dynoed that one, but I had it running pretty decent. But some of those cheap Chinese saws you get, you just gotta, they're tinker toys. You gotta tinker with them all the time. But I had a hoot goofing off with this one, so I ordered up another one, and I'm gonna be trying single ring OEM piston in it, because this one, I'm not gonna lie, this thing gained tremendously. Absolutely tremendously over stock. Like it literally does not even feel like the same saw. So I ordered, and this don't have the air filter issues that the V-Modest got. They actually fixed the air filter issue or made it a little bit better. Is it as good as stock, an OEM one? Probably not, but at least this one seals up to the mating surface where you click it on, where there's a big old gap on the V-Modest. I never understood why they did that. And I'm not the only one that has showed that. I think Brennan Cash showed that as well. I don't know if he ever come up with to fix that. But I just sent it with the, when I got rid of it, with the stock air filter that was on it. But I think I'm going to go single ring, lighten the crap out of it, hit the ports even harder, and we might end up trying to do a carb swap. I forget who was telling me. Somebody was telling me that maybe a 200T carb could possibly be made to fit in here. So we might explore that territory, but figured we'll go with a little bit more harder, more aggressive attack on it and see what happens. Like I said, out of any clone saw that I've played with, this cylinder impressed me the most out of any clone I've had my hands on to date, next to that white 372 clone, that Farmer Tech Pro one. This plating was hard, not chippy, and I mean the cylinder looked really, really good in it. So, like I said, those that haven't watched any of the other videos, if you want in on this, any of my 2511 videos, whether it be this, Be Modest, stock ones, if I'm running one, doesn't matter, get in there, watch it, like it, comment that you're there for the John Cutter giveaway, and those that have commented where they're here for the giveaway, you didn't say the John Cutter, but it's okay, I still got you're still in there. You know, and some said like 2511 giveaway. That's fine. I understood what you meant. Originally, I wanted you to comment John Cutter because I haven't responded to any of those messages, because as that list gets bigger and bigger in there, I can scroll through the studio app. If I comment, like, or give a thumbs up on that disappears, and then it makes it harder for me to keep track of who's. Because once I'm ready to do the giveaway, I got to sit down with a notebook, pad, and paper and scroll through every one of them comments and write it all down. And then I believe my buddy said he was going to punch the entries into a computer spinny thing, and it's going to randomly spit out each. You know, say if you commented 100 times, you know, it'd be like, say if you were the first person that commented and you did 100 of them comments, you'd have 100 numbers assigned to that name. And then, you know, the next person would be 101 to how many ever, you know, that's how that's going to work. And it's all going to get pumped into a computer or whatever, and you just push a button and it does its thing and spits out a random. I can only afford to do shipping in the United States. If somebody gets it from Canada, we're gonna have to work something out. I don't. It's a huge pain in the butt. The last time I shipped something to Canada, and I just did not go through that again. But I mean, I guess if it does happen or whatever, we'll have to figure something out. We'll figure it out one way or another. But that's not what this video is about. Let me grab it here. I've yet to do my durability testing with this Moto Milk, and the Saw Spa sent me 2 quarts, and I believe Bodie dropped off a couple quarts to me over at Joe's, which next time I go over there for a dyno run, I'll do that. I haven't made it over to Joe's because I'm having vehicle issues, and I just don't trust my crummy vehicles to drive that far right now. That plus I feel horrible with these stones and stuff. So, we had a viewer send four of them bottles in, and let's see here. And when I said I was gonna buy a clone to do testing on that, he messaged me And trying to remember how they, well, not, he didn't message me, he actually called me. I think he's going to as well. And, yeah. He messaged me and said, don't waste your money on a clone, or he didn't message me, he called me and said, don't waste your money on a clone. He's like, I got one here that's never been fueled, gassed, or fired, or anything, and he's like, I don't care what you do with it. He's like, use that for your testing, and he sent me his clone, and I just now opened it up, and so here's the hardware for that. Let's open it up and see what this thing is. He sent us a Neotech 872, which I think that is the 372 clone. I think the 72 stands for the 72 cc's or whatever, 71 cc's. He said that it's dusty and dirty, but he says it's never been fired. So he said do bad things to it and use it on the moto milk. So yeah. Let's take a look here. Yeah, this thing's never been made. Some of this clone stuff really irritates me. I very, very, very highly doubt that this was made in Sweden. Very, 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 very doubtful. Was it copied from a Sweden model? Oh, I can almost guarantee that. But just the way this feels, no. It, that kind of frustrates me a little bit how they do that. These those that say these things are just like the real deal, I don't see where they're getting there. That feels I don't know if that's in view or not. This is the real deal. This is the actual real deal. Throttle is nice and smooth. There's no harsh corners here. That just feels amazing in the hands. This thing feels blocky. It's got sharp edges on the plastic, and I don't have a trigger pull thing, but the trigger pull is almost twice as hard. So yeah, but you know, clones are clones. The thing that irritates me the worst about clones is I see it all the time. People get there's people out there that will buy like that Alibaba saw that I got, and they'll doll it all up as the real deal, and then they'll turn around and you'll see it advertised on Craigslist or Marketplace, sometimes eBay, as the real deal, and somebody that don't know saws or whatever. I've seen people go as far as actually putting the ID plates off from busted OEM cases onto clones, and which, say if you've got a tree smash saw and you needed a new set of cases to transfer all your OEM parts onto or whatever, and you wanted to transfer that ID tag, because some places require the ID tag to order new parts, like if you went to get new parts for it in the future or whatever. That's totally understandable, but when you take a brand new Chinesian knockoff and make it look like the real deal, kind of like them guys do in them cities and stuff where you see them selling fake Rolexes and stuff as the real deal, it's, I don't know, that stuff just drives me up the wall. I've seen too many good people get took on what they, you know. And what's crazy around me, I don't know if other repair shops are like it for you guys, but around me, if I was to take this, say I didn't know how to work on saws, and you bought one of these Chinese saws, and you know, you know it's Chinese. It says Neotech on it, or it could say Farmer Tech or whatever. There's so many different, you know, John Cutter. Seems like there's, and every time I get on Amazon, it seems like there's new ones. I seen another one. I can't remember where it was. It looked just like a 372 low top, all done up. And it said Husky on it. It had a picture of a dog, but it was 372. They're calling it a Husky, not Husqvarna, and they got a picture of a dog on it. And just the stuff they do just cracks me up sometimes. But I guess if it says Husky and it's got a picture of a dog on it, and somebody's fool enough to think it's an OEM one, I guess that's on them. But around me, back on subject, if I was to take this to my Husqvarna dealer and said, hey, this is not starting, it needs to be worked on. Two of my local steel dealers, and then there's another small engine shop, and then there's a Husky dealer that's near me that they will reject you. They will say, we don't work on Chinese saws. And some of that is to do because they're probably upset that these Chinese imposter saws stole the sale from their OEM stuff. And then, well, the other guy that works on everything, he doesn't work on them because they just, you know, as he says, they're problems and they just keep coming back. They're not worth his hassle to fix. What I think a clone's good for is to use as a donor saw or an experiment, or if you want to turn it into a race saw, and if it blows up, you don't care. That's what I think. But we're going to use this one as a test mill saw, and I want to look at something here real quick too. Some of these clones have an issue where they won't go full throttle. And this one is getting full throttle. Well, this one looks like it has an actual plastic piece for the, you know, simulate the OEM one. I've seen some of these actually have an aluminum or die-cast one in there, and this has a high-lat carburetor, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, here's nice sharp edges. You know, OEM stuff ain't like that. But their plastics are getting better. That Alibaba saw had the absolute best looking plastics I've ever seen in a clone. It had the softest cylinder I ever seen, but yeah. So this is the second. This will be the second Neotech that has 372 that's ever crossed my bench, and yeah. So I'm thinking we need to tear it down, torque the thing, and then we can I can do a good close-up on everything, and you know, show the wear, all that stuff, and then I think we'll muffler mod it, and I'm debating on how hard to go on the porting. Maybe we'll just do the basics, because I want to see working conditions on this. We'll probably do 40-1. I want to see working conditions, so I'll check the squish. We'll pitch the base gasket and see where the squish is at then, and see where the numbers are. But if I can get 20 to 25 squish with no machine work, we'll leave it. If we pull the base gasket and it's still, as you know, if it's not 25 or less, then I'll skim the bottom of it. You know, so basically what I'm going to do is set the squish. I'm thinking probably no chamber work, and we'll just do a real basic mild work build. We'll open the lowers. I'll do like probably a 2 exhaust or a 100 if I can achieve it without machine work. I don't know. This thing's a rattler. Might tighten this up or something. I don't know. Put some foam under it. But yeah, we'll do a real basic single outlet exhaust, basic port work. I'll get some footage of it running here on Moto Milk, and then I'll send probably a couple quarts with this to my logging buddy. I haven't even talked to my logging buddy, but I'm thinking I'll send, loggers and tree guys are probably the absolute hardest on equipment. So I think that would be, he could probably run 5 gallons of this through it before I could actually run a tank through it on my channel. So I think to get the testing done sooner, that's what I'm thinking. I don't want to go crazy on it and sacrifice the reliability of this and then have a failure or whatever. I want to test this stuff. I don't want to. We already know that we can get good power out of these, so I'll do a mild build that should be a long-lasting build that won't compromise nothing, and then we'll do some long-term testing. Holy cow, it's stiff. Hopefully that'll free up. Hood. The last one of these I converted to a 365. I had an OEM cylinder on it, aftermarket piston, and it was my 4-cube race saw. And then I picked up I built the 365 and needed that cylinder back, so I stole the OEM cylinder back, and then I threw, was it a US product? An NWP? I think I threw an NWP big bore kit in it. Base gasket, deleted it, and had a muffler mod. And it was just a really strong mild work saw, and then I got rid of it to a logger. Actually, not a logger, a firewooder. And that compression feels chintzy, guys. I'm going to plug that off. Don't like that. That's the first for me. I've never seen an automotive style intake clamp on one of these. Normally they're a stainless steel 2-part pull band that pulls evenly all the way around. This didn't even fit in there right, and I actually kinked it over here. So much so that it's actually got the boot distorted. Man. We might throw an OEM intake boot and clamp on there just so I don't have to worry about the test getting cut short from a failure. That's actually pretty disappointing, you know. The 2 or 3 farmer techs I've had weren't like that. The other Neotech I had was not like that. I don't know if somebody's been in this or not. I don't know. I see no evidence of it being done. Well, maybe it was factory ran. It's had fuel in it. You can see the green 2-stroke residue. And it smells pretty old. I believe the guy that shipped it to us, though, he said he never ran it. This could have been a factory return, and they repaired it and then turned around and resold it. Oil tank is 100% bone dry. Then maybe it was factory ran. Tested it, made sure it ran before they sent it out the factory. I know some Echoes are. It's got a torch L7T. Let me change that out too. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Looks like it's got a pretty decent starter rope on it. So, yeah. You guys see that? It says Sweden here with a J on it. All these sharp edges. I really, I don't know. But yeah, let's port this mildly, I guess. That way we can get onto this moto milk testing. Oh, for those that were running what was in my 372 that I was running the other day, that was, what did I do with it? That was this stuff. Demontech, I had it 32-1. This is that L111. I really like this stuff too. In my hands, playing with, well, if you want my honest opinion, so far, in hands, I haven't been able to do any timed cuts, but in my hands, you know, the feel in my hands, at 32-1, I haven't tested these at any other mixture, but at 32-1, in my hands, I can't tell the difference. Now, I tested this stuff on 500i, 550 XP, and my 400. I have tested this stuff in a 4910 and the 372. And what was the other one? In the carburetor things, I didn't notice much difference. And when I went from 40-1 Red Armor to this stuff on the carbureted saws, I did have to retune the carburetor. But switching from this to this and back to this, I noticed I didn't have to dink with the carburetor. And then I played. What was I playing with? I played with this stuff too. I think I said it in the video. I don't know. I played with this stuff too. Now, this stuff you can tell you're mixed. Both of these is absolutely very, very hard to tell that you know that you even put 8 ounces of oil in there. The fuel just this stuff comes out almost like regular. You know. Let's see if we can pour some out. It's this stuff's clear. I don't know if you can see that or not. So when you got this stuff mixed up, you have no idea that your fuel's mixed or not. But a viewer sent this in for me just to try out, and I'm trying to remember. I think he said this stuff's like $13 or something. For $13, I was very impressed with it. I don't know the long-term effects of it, as I don't know this stuff. I got a pretty good idea. There's a pretty famous dude that preaches this stuff, that builds some pretty gnarly engines, and and he's dyno tested. This stuff I'm pretty sure of, and so far I haven't had any issues with this stuff. Well, that was loose. But I haven't had any issues with it so far. I absolutely love how this stuff behaves in my 550 and my 400. The 500 too. When I switched from this stuff, I should have got it on camera. I don't think I did. I had the 40-to-1 red armor in the 500. Made my video, and I just shut it off. I didn't run it out of fuel or nothing. All I did was shut it off. I dumped the fuel into a container. I've actually got for all the testing I've been doing, I've got a 5-gallon bucket or 5-gallon can that is dump fuel, where it's a mixture. It's got red armor. It's got all different types of stuff in it, but it's still good mixed fuel. I don't want to just pitch it out. So it's like I've been using it for my work stuff there. Been running it in weed eaters and push mower. Been running it in my gator. But I dumped the fuel, added the 32-to-1. I sat the saw down with it running, and as I was walking away from it, I could actually hear the 500 all of a sudden change tone when it burnt the last little bit of the 40-to-1 red armor up and switched over onto this stuff. And if I recall, I think that was a 20-inch piece of pine, and it changed. I don't feel I pushed any harder. There's no tuning on it. You just run the saw, but it cut a second faster than it did with the 40-to-1 red armor. Or was it 32-to-1? I can't remember. I had the red armor. I dumped the red armor and I put this stuff in it. And as I was walking away, and I have another buddy that said I should have did that test on 50-to-1. He thinks the red armor would have behaved better on 50-to-1, which it could have. I don't know. But I do have 40-to-1 red armor that I've been comparing stuff to, and I don't know, this stuff does seem to be outperforming the red armor. As for letting your saw sit for 3 years with this in it, I don't know. I know I can let a saw sit 3-4 years with a tank of red armor in it, and it won't look red no more, it'll look pink. And I can start the thing up, it might cough and might act a little bit lean for a second. You let it run for 30 seconds, clear the fog out of it, and you can go cut a load of wood with 3 or 4 year old fuel in it. And then when you run that out, you dump another fresh batch in there, and then the saw's running even better. I've had 0 storage problems with red armor, and I'm not even using rec fuel, I'm just using 87. So yeah, so I do want to port this thing. I want to do some test videos with it here, and then I want to send it out. My buddy's really not big into recording stuff, so I probably won't get no footage of him cutting trees down or nothing with it. But the best he can do is go beat the crap out of it for a couple weeks and bring it back to me, and we can tear it down and see what it looks like. See what the carbon looks like, see what the wear pattern of the piston looks like, see what kind of coating we got on stuff, and see if I can change his opinion on a clone, because he don't like clones either. But yeah, so I don't know. I've blabbered on here quite enough. I'm not going to tear into this tonight. This is about as far as I'm going to get. My other bench is plugged up. I'll probably clean this up here a little bit, and then I'll use this bench. And I don't know, maybe I'll film it, maybe I won't. Yeah. Some guys love clones, some don't, and I'm in between on them. I just don't think the quality's there. Oh, another thing too is when I build this, I'm probably switching crankcases. Actually, let me pause you. Alright, sorry it took me a little bit. I had to dig this out. This is another Neotech case that I have split and put a highway. No, it wasn't a highway. Can't remember the brand of the crank. Anyway, Ryan from Wolf Creek Saw Shop sent me the crankshaft. Got some dust on it. I used to have it bagged up. Maybe this was a NWP. I cannot remember. But anyway, this piston's just sitting in there. Anyway, this is a different aftermarket crankshaft. I believe it's Taiwan. And I put better bearings and seals and wanted to try this crankshaft that he sent me. Because I do know from the ones I dinked with on this, the timing's off on them. And I wanted to try this crankshaft instead of dinking around splitting that. I already have this set of cases, and I just noticed we've changed things again because this case is gray and this case was orange. But maybe before I do that, I will pull this and check the timing. And if it's in the same spot as this crank, maybe we'll roll with it. But the ones I've dinked with before, this bearing was different size. You couldn't use an OEM one. And this crank allows me to use the OEM needle bearing. And the other Neotech, the one that was in here, I don't know what I did with the... Probably in a box somewhere. It had a bigger bearing in it, which once again, that's something if you're trying to get a factory replacement part from the dealer, and you go buy your part, then you buy it and you put it in there and it don't fit. Kind of frustrating. I don't remember. I was checking timing on something. I used this. I dug this short block out quite a while ago and used it to check timing on something. Can't remember what I was doing, but I guess we'll check the timing on that crankshaft and we'll see. But if not, we'll use this crankcase and swap everything over to it. It's not that big a deal. It's another. I was originally building this. Just a second. Gosh, guys, this is gonna be a long video. Had to do some digging. This was a kit I bought a long time ago. It just says H 372. If I recall, I got this for $27 on eBay. It's a 52 millimeter single ring big bore kit, and I was originally gonna port this cylinder up, use that crankshaft that Ryan at Wolf Creek Saw Shop sent us, and I was gonna build this as a big bore with a single ring, and just to see what would happen. And now that's an option too. Should I roll with the Neotech cylinder, or should I just pull everything off and actually not even lift that cylinder off this chassis and just swap everything over onto this one, and then we can do all the experiments and testing with an El Cheapo $27 big bore kit. And that piston feels heavy. Probably is. It's bigger. Hopefully you guys don't mind this long video. We're at 90. I got some work to do to get that down later. I think total weight won't be too bad because there was 2 rings on this one. I do have a lightweight wrist pin that I found. I'm gonna save them for a different build. Or 14. So I got a considerably lighter wrist pin. And the lengths aren't long enough to even concern me. 18. Now it's saying 18. 14. So yeah, I guess we're gonna call this a video here. But let me know. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna go this route. Because when this is all said and done, I gotta send this back to that guy. Let's go this route. We'll beat the shit out of my stuff, and then I'll just use this for parts and transfer over. I don't know. I was trying to round everything up for this thing. I got a whole pile of parts over there, and it just seems like every time I turn around, it was almost easier to buy a kit saw and get all my parts I needed. And then I was supposed to have a couple kit saws that I was doing some horse trading with, and I don't know, it never went through. They never got shipped. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We're just going to do some horse trading. But I don't have the money. Honestly, when I'm building a clone, I prefer a kit saw. That way it's 100% in pieces. I can upgrade parts as I'm seeding it together. Typically I'll run oleum flywheel, crank, top end if I can, so on and so forth. But that's what we're going to do. Unless I change my mind. But this video's gotten on long enough, so enough of me blibber blabbering. Probably not going to modify his muffler. I've got in that ever-growing pile of parts back there. I think there's 3 or 4 mufflers floating around. I actually might have one in there already muffler modded. But, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So, you guys take it easy. Have a good one. Sorry I jibber jabbered so long.